Earlier in the month, members of the labor unions in the country, Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress embarked on a one-week industrial action to push home their demands for increments and the minimum wage for its workers. The labor unions initially pushed for a monthly pay of 494,000 naira, which was termed unrealistic by the federal government and some members of the public. Then, after further negotiations, the organized labor reduced the amount to 250,000 naira, which is currently on the table. However, the private sector enterprises pleaded to pay an affordable fee of 62,000 naira, which was then pushed to 65,000 naira. In the midst of all these negotiations and discussions between the tripartite committees set up by the federal government and organized labor, the average Nigerian is still contending with the rate of hyperinflation in the country. Some Nigerians think that an increment in the minimum wage, no matter the amount agreed upon by the federal government, will not suffice as long as the rate of inflation in terms of food prices and cost of goods is still high. Some citizens who spoke with BTV News were of the opinion that clamoring for a salary increment is not enough, but that the federal government should fix the economy by improving on the agriculture sector, the production and industrial sector, and provision of basic essential amenities such as power, thereby reducing inflation. They also added that the cost of governance should be reduced considerably.
The government should also look for a way to lower their cut on their allowances and all those things, because that is where these things is coming from. So they should look for a way to really curb governance, and that will really help in most of all these things, because things are skyrocketing, and the government are also benefiting from it. Now, the common masses who are there, who they are ruling over, just there, no increment, nothing. So I believe that if you start from them, they should lower what they receive or what they earn or their allowances or whatsoever. I think 250,000 naira is kind of too much, because the workers all over Nigeria should, if you are going to do that, it will be very costly for the government.
Minimum wage issue with the government. I'm talking of the scarcity or the inflation in the country. I think the two should be worked on by the organized labor. Why? Even if the government should agree on 150,000, and every worker in this Nigeria earns 150,000 naira. Out of the 150,000, you spent 130 on transportation and food. How much will a citizen save? So the two should be faced by the organized labor. I implore the NLC, Ajero, sorry by calling you by name, but big men have you called by name, and the TUC, work on scrutinizing this government so that they will bring the inflation rate will be reduced.
My take on this issue is that they should not just focus on minimum wage alone. Actually, there is no way that they will not earn something. They should also look at other, because if there is no time all over the world as money have ever resolved the issue or to quell the taste of things or buying of things. So they should focus on to see how critical areas of human existing should be reduced. They should focus on how other commodities that are weighing on the populace can easily be reduced.
Well, to me, it is a peanut compared to the money they are paying senators, even the ordinary dog at home. Their dog at home earn more than that in a week. Their gateman, their allowances and all that, they should increase their money, or let everybody, both the senator, the House of Assembly, let them enjoy the 62,000 naira equal. Now, when you are talking about looking at other aspect of economy, well, to me, the federal government will do something very urgent, because the suffering is too much. They should not just focus on only minimum wage alone. The other infrastructure, making the economy to balance. If the economy, the prices of goods are reduced, they won't be talking about minimum wage.
However, other citizens who were also interviewed opined that if the minimum wage is pegged at 65,000 naira, it would not take the civil servants home, whereas if it was increased to 250,000 naira, it may cater for some things to some extent.
The prices of things in the market is cost. To me, I will advise Nigeria Labour Congress, they should focus on how federal government will reduce the cost of price in the market. Because if Nigeria Labour Congress, they accept the minimum wage of 65,000, that money will not be enough monthly to sustain the masses, to sustain Nigeria Labour Congress, because the price of cost in the market is too high. So I advise Nigeria Labour Congress, they should focus on how the federal government will reduce the cost of food in the country, Nigeria.
Nigerian workers, both in public and private sectors, still anticipate the outcome of the negotiations between the federal government tripartite committees and organized labor, as well as the executive verdict. Tosin Toluwaloju, reporting for BTV News.